we're live.
Okay. So our first question is dealing with the Partition bargain, and it's asking how does this deal with social media, and what have we gained, and have we created more than we've destroyed, and also what have we lost?
Right, so the Partition bargain is a deal with the devil selling your soul for temporary earthly gain, and according to Postman, they say a new technology always presents us with a Partition bargain, and they say that technology giveth and technology taketh away. A new technology sometimes creates more than it destroys, and it sometimes destroys more than it creates, but it's never one-sided.
What was the question? Just like the actual question.
What is the bargain with social media? What have we gained? What have we lost? Have we created more than we destroyed?
I feel like with social media, like, you're giving away you're giving away privacy, you're giving away, like, your ability to, like, be in the moment because you're, like, wrapped up in an electronic world. And I feel like that's the bargain. Like, to get, like, followers and fame and all of that, like, you have to give up a huge, significant, like, chunk of your life in order to go with that. That's what I think of immediately when I think of that. What were you guys?
I agree. I think you lose more. Well, you might gain something in that moment, but for yourself, you lose something more. It's like, you know, like you said, to deal with the devil book, so it's kind of like a giving away devil traits, if that makes sense.
Yeah, actually, I think we can gain some from certain social media. You can see a more personal example of people who live in different cultures, and you can also be more into things that maybe your locality may not be into. Like if you really like musicals and you live, somewhere that doesn't have a lot of musical, you have like more access to like musical web pages where you can follow them. Like personally, I follow like Wicked on Instagram, and I can like see everything that's happening like the Gershwin Theater that I wouldn't be able to live in India.
Yeah, I think it's created a lot of connections, like, or opportunities for connections with people, and community. But at the same time, you could argue that it destroys community and it destroys connections, and that would be like in the real world per se, because you're not like always present. Like you were saying, it takes a lot of time to like develop those followers or develop those connections online, and there's a potential that's kind of the deal with the devil. Like you don't know, like it might destroy connections in the real world. But second question is, are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. The second question.
Louder, probably.
Yeah. Second question is the internet the ultimate bargain? Like going back to his bargain with the devil. It's basically the same question. More gain or more loss? If you had to choose, have
Like
you gained
the
more?
internet as a whole, not just social
Just
media?
the internet, yeah. Have you gained more with the internet or have you lost more?
I'd say gained.
Yeah.
Definitely, because like you guys were saying, like it gives you access to resources that you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah.
It also like gives you a whole thing to like, for academics it's research, like for big fans and hobbyists, like it gives you a place to do that. Like you can find so many things to do on the internet, and I know if anything's like broken in my house and I'm like, I don't know how to do this, I'm like, YouTube, and like I learn a skill out of that.
Yeah, I do that too.
Would you say that it is like the ultimate bargain? Like, think about, I don't know, that's kind of a weird question to me, but like, there's other bargains that you can make like that in life, but I feel like your choice to be present on the internet and like fully dive into the internet, like that to me is a very huge bargain to make.
True.
That's probably one of your biggest choices that you can make in life, because the internet does affect like every asset of your life, I feel like. So I would say it's the ultimate bargain.
Also, like you're sharing personal information, and like employers can look on that, and what's posted on the internet always stays on it. So I guess that's a huge risk too.
Yeah, and you have to, like, if you don't want everyone to see it, you'll have to go into your settings. You don't have to change and make it to like, yeah, everyone can see this, or no one can see this, but like 3 people, or like, yeah, all my friends can see this stuff except to these friends and stuff like that. I do think it's an ultimate bargain. Like you have to change what you want to change, but if you don't know that you can do that, then
it's,
Yeah, kind of screwed.
yeah, then you're out of luck. An employer's gonna see that embarrassing thing from 7 years ago that you hate, but it's there.
I'm thinking about like Facebook, because I got it. I like broke a law when I was 12, and I got my Facebook when you have to be like 13, right? And I like posted all of these like pictures from like that were super embarrassing, and I had like everything public, and I kept on like posting like, please help me out in Farmville and like Cafe World. Like I was one of those people, and now I like had to go back, and I'm like, nobody can see any of
Right,
this
delete
stuff.
all of it.
Yeah, it's like this is gone.
I never post anything, so I just have a bunch of awful pictures from like when I was 12.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh. And now my friends on the internet now have been like, I found you on Facebook. I'm like, don't you dare
Don't.
look. And then they do, and I look back. I'm like, I hate you all. I'm making this private. Like, you can't see this anymore. Don't do that.
Right.
Canceled.
Yeah, when it's canceled.
Yeah, so with the, I agree with the social media aspect, you do lose a lot of privacy, but with social media and other sites like GoFundMe, like if you have like a medical condition that you can't like pay for, or your house just got like burned down, like
Yeah,
27,000 people in Pleasant,
Yeah.
California.
But forest fires aren't a problem ever. They should
Right.
put it out themselves.
No
And you
global
know,
warming.
we defunded that, so.
Didn't let's word of money. Anyway, that you have access to a lot more people who may have, you know, the money to help you, and other people, especially in that community, already are spending money that they don't have to rebuild their own lives.
Yeah, and internet requires money too. So like when you said the GoFundMe, you know they take a percentage off of what
Every donation.
yeah, of
they
the
do.
donation. I was like, wow.
So you might give $50, but that person might only get like 46 or something like that.
Yeah.
I guess you have to profit off of it.
Yeah.
But also, that's a good point. The internet costs money.
Right.
Like just having Wi-Fi access and things like that also costs money. I forgot
Speaking
about that.
of costing money, third question time. Advertising. This isn't necessarily just on the internet, but we're talking about the internet. So would you guys, it kind of says it more as a statement, but like advertising tends to focus more on emotion than like logic and reasoning nowadays. And does this mean that we're thinking less? And are we more prone to grab onto what feels good? Like, are we more prone to react to like a puppy commercial than like a commercial that's like, I don't know, for example, this politician is bad, and here's these reasons for X, Y, and Z. Like, are we just more prone to grab onto what feels good and like go on emotional appeals rather than like logos?
Okay, I talk about, sorry.
Oh, you first, go ahead.
I talk about this all the time. I give in to advertising so frequently, but like coming to college has educated me on the fact that I do that. Like, I love Target. I
do too.
love Target. Do you know why?
that's what I
Because
remember.
every one of their advertising and marketing strategies are so aesthetically appealing, and it's
They
very
are.
clean and neat, and that's why I like it, because I feel comfortable. It's very like art centered, and I'm like, ooh, I like this. And every time I go into Target, I'm like, Zoe, do you actually like this, or do you like it because it's pretty? Like, do you like it because they know what audience they're getting and they're advertising it to you? Like, what is it? And I
You're
tried to
that
dissect that, and like, I was like, it's me. But like, I tried to dissect that, and like, coming to college made me realize that, and I'm like, ooh, like, how influenced am I being by this? Like, do I like it because I like it, or do I like it because other people are telling me to, or do I like it because it's pretty? Like, that's something that I think about all the time. That's what I would say.
I think it's based off of your emotions. You don't really think about you like you said, Target. Like sometimes I'm looking at the commercials like these are so nice. Like let's go to Target, let's go buy something. You don't even want to buy anything. You just go there
You don't
because
need it.
it looks nice and everything they advertise is nice. I mean, you should buy clothes. Nice.
It is a big mood. I go to Target, I'm like, I can't buy anything but these two things, and then I still leave with the t-shirt.
Every time, every
I'm like, ooh,
damn
this shirt's
time.
cute. They gave me right at the end of the store too, because they got all the shirts laid out right there. I'm like, ooh, look at this shirt.
Right.
Shit, and then I buy it.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I have less money.
It's like blinders, honestly.
Yeah, I just can't go into Target or else I'm gonna buy stuff that I don't need.
It's just so
And then I don't have money for it.
Then you really
And, like-
looking at something like their trash cans and stuff like that, because I just moved. So you're like, okay, this trash bin matches the toothpaste holder.
Right?
I'm
I
gonna
need
get
both
both.
of them.
And
have
they're
you
like high in dollars. You're like,
You're right,
didn't
right.
do
Like,
that.
talking about like Target, like big name corporations, like my mom watches Hallmark movies all the time. Like some of the commercials they have are so emotional, and like
Yeah.
it's Hallmark, duh. But like we literally watched this commercial about a man and his wife, and then like at the end of it you find out he's blind, and like I wanted to buy that perfume because I was like and I was like, wow, I literally only want this because it made me emotional, made me feel something. And
It's
like
like-
Target has that shit too, like they got that good marketing, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's like you know the extra gum commercials where it's
Mhm.
like the
Oh,
guys
yeah,
like
like
drawing.
the-
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I gotta get extra. Like every time I see extra, I'm like, oh,
I
let's
get
just get
extra gum,
that
too.
instead of like I literally that's what gum you have.
Yeah.
And like they did so much better than if there's a guy just standing there being like, extra gum is better for you because of this, and it does a more effective job because of literally, that's like no one's gonna respond to that. They're gonna want the one with the guy drawing cute pictures for his girlfriend.
Yeah, and they're marketing towards girls because it has to be something. Because girls be like, oh, well, that's not true. We won't do that. But me,
I
I'm
don't buy
like, I like
extra
extra gum.
I'm gay.
Wanna
Didn't
be
that commercial
extra.
didn't work on me.
I like the gay Dove commercial. I wanted to buy
Yeah,
Dove
the
just
gay
because they had a
Dove
transgender person. And I was
yeah.
like,
Every commercial that has a lesbian couple, I'm like, ooh, this company. Like,
Old
I love,
Navy.
I love
Navy
Subaru.
has it.
Yeah, Old
Exactly,
Navy has so
exactly.
many.
Yeah.
I love Subaru. They marketed like extremely heavily towards lesbians in a lot of their magazines, and I'm like, well, yeah,
Yes,
I
I need a
love
Subaru.
Subarus. I need a
In the back
Subaru.
seat, but I want the Subaru.
Yeah.
If you're
What
looking
about
for a
you?
diamond, there's like some jewelry store that is
Yeah.
marketing like
Yep, I know.
gay commercials.
Trust me, I know.
There's like a lot of this
There's-
one diamond store is like
I don't
gay
remember what one
proposals
it is.
like
But yeah, they have a lot of gay proposal
Yeah.
posters, and I'm like, oh, look at you, bless.
they know who they're going for.
And it's working.
wait, did you have something you want to say?
It's cool, I'll go in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Has media decreased our overall attention span?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a generational gap with this? And
Yes.
somehow,
Yeah.
how does that apply to politics? I don't know how he got there.
I don't know how it applies to politics, but
Well,
there's definitely
I would
yeah.
say like
Yeah.
media, like with politics. I mean, you can almost kind of like look on the
I think-
social media and see all political things, and some of the stuff might be true, and some of the stuff might be false.
I think it's easier to fact check now. Like it's
Yeah.
on social media, you can be like, all right,
But
where'd you get your
people
sources?
don't.
Yeah, but people don't. But you
No.
can.
You can. It is there.
Like back in like the day or whatever, like they can just go off of what the TV said and see if they
Yeah.
believe it or not. They're not gonna look it up because they can't.
Yeah,
There is
don't
no
have
internet
to
where they gonna fact check.
Yeah, so with politics, some is the younger generations being more in politics, and generally we're on like Tumblr or something more so than older people. Like my aunt's like 60-something or whatever, and she's on Facebook, and every bad right wing, like the Blaze Drudge, she like her entire feed is that,
Whoa.
and she can connect with people like that because nobody fact checks Facebook, and Tumblr's a little more left leaning, I would say
Yeah,
overall, and
definitely.
we're more
Yeah.
influenced by that.
True.
Because I feel like older generations, they look more at the news, whereas us, we just look on.
News
The
is also
internet.
so bad.
I don't like watching the news
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
but
Biased.
Yeah, you gotta find the news that's like as
Neutral.
neutral as they can be, and like they'll have people from different ones, and not just oh we have this one Democrat or oh we have this one Republican. No, they have like a mixed group. They got libertarians and all that stuff, and be like, all right, how do we all feel about this?
right now social media is how I found out that CNN is trying to sue I think the White House or something.
Oh,
Somebody there
The White
because
House?
Oh, because
did
of
you see
Trump.
what Donald Trump did the other
With
day?
the reporter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
talking about you're horrible, you're rude and all this, and then the one day said actually he's a diligent guy. I've worked with him and he's awesome. And and Donald Trump thought he had a friend and said, well, you're horrible too.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I can't
I
Trump.
can't take it.
Garbage.
Okay, we have two more questions. How has media, we're gonna combine these. One big question. How has media shaped communication, and has our communication increased or decreased with media?
I think about this. He talked about it in class one day,
Yeah.
and I think about this a lot because, like, one, it teaches you how to reach out to people you don't know, like on the internet and things like that. But also, like, I feel like it helps, like, expand like not face-to-face communication, but then also sometimes takes away from face-to-face
Because
communication.
too much on media, you're used to just being on there all the time and not talking to somebody, really talking to them instead of like, oh, I tagged you in this, oh, did you see this, or did you see
Yeah.
that? Instead of talking about it because you're really not talking about it, you're just asking somebody did they see it.
Right,
Or like people on Snapchat who just have conversations, I'll loosely say, where they just use
Yeah.
different filters and send them to each other.
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a form of communication that wasn't really a thing 10 years ago. And it's now very much so. Not with me. It's a new Snapchat filter and you're off my list, but
You're getting deleted.
Out.
emojis and Snapchat filters.
Nope, not
No.
for you.
I love emojis.
I know they
Like,
come
I
out
don't,
with
I
new
don't
ones.
post them everywhere, but like I do like putting emojis occasionally. And then like so I use a gaming app for like Discord. It's for like where gaming and gamer. Oh my god. Okay, but it's a app where like if you meet people on games, you can then get on this app and be friends with them on there. Yeah, and you can join like different servers and shit, and like you can post pictures and you can react with like emojis to like spam them with like all the heart emojis. Like, oh, my friend posted a selfie, I'm gonna smother it in heart emojis. Like, while I'm on call with them, telling them that I'm doing this, because you can be in voice chat. And then if you do like,
cute.
yeah, if you do private conversations, like you can have a group of 10 in that, you could all do video and all be talking to each other doing that while playing games.
And that's like
shit.
good for communication because it's like
Yeah.
multiple. Yeah.
But I just hate
What
those
is-
people.
No. Go ahead.
I just hate those people that are like, if I see you face to face and we're sitting down, and then you're just on your phone all the time, it makes me just so mad. I'm like, okay, I don't have to be here.
We're people. We could talk.
Right, like we don't have to be on our phones all the time.
Yeah,
I
I
was like,
think,
you're gonna say something.
I think media has like shaped communication in all the ways that you were talking about, but I also think it's gotten us so that we're thinking so fast paced and we're ready for communication to be continually flowing. And that's not always good because you'll be talking and you'll be thinking of a response and then you kind of clip out what the other person is saying. And it's always like go, 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 go. And it's just weird when it's not like that. And then like you were saying, people are like get on their phones because I think they've lost the art of making eye contact or like
Right.
having extended conversations in one like synchronous set of time instead of like the asynchronous messages that we were talking about where it is like reply as you can.
Also, like the importance of silence in conversations. I
Yeah,
feel like
which
now
people
people get
never
really
have.
uncomfortable, and then they're like, "It's silent, phone."
Right.
Like, oh, let me do something. Let me distract myself.
Yeah, and they like look off, like they don't know what to do. It's yeah, so I think in some ways I think it's strengthened our communication overall, but then I would almost say for face to face, I'd almost say that it's weakened it. I don't think it's done anything that great for face to face. I think it's weakened it. But like overall communication in all the different like areas.
It's kind of like the deal with the devil thing. where
Deal
we-
with the devil, yep.
Letitia Bargain,
Right.
bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Cool, we got it all.
And
Uh,
that's a wrap.
Woo!
I've turned off.
Yeah.